Good evening. I'm your host, Jack Remington from Quintessence Productions LLC, back with Week 16 predictions for the NFL Super Contest Simulator. Last week was another disaster. One win, four losses. Both our favorites got killed. The one game we did win was the Atlanta Falcons covering the points. Not only did they cover the points, they beat the 49ers at home and they scored 14 points with 16 seconds in the game. The 49ers have lost all their games within the last few seconds. They're still a good team, but their defense is banged up. So we'll talk about some of these games here for Week 16. We're going to just try to stay over 500. That's about the best we're going to get. We're going to try game number one. We're going to take the Rams plus 6.5 points against the 49ers. I know the Rams got them the first time. And the Rams looked terrible last week, but Rams are going to bounce back and they're going to make the game. I'm taking the 49ers to actually win the game. I'm looking for a field goal type game. We're taking the generous points. I'm looking for the Rams to use Todd Gurley and get away from his Goff. Something's happened to his game. I don't know if Jared Goff is just not practicing right or if he's just relaxing or lost some of his intensity. I mean, I played ball, like I've said in other videos, I was many years ago. I was an athlete, and I understand that preparation is 98% of your win and your loss for any sporting event, whether it's tennis, boxing, football, soccer, baseball, hockey, basketball. You got to get yourself in shape. Maybe they burned a few practice days off last week, and they sure looked terrible against the Cowboys the first quarter. Jared Goff's first three passes, he's 0 for 3 because the 49ers defense is depleted, and it's a division rivalry. They know each other. I'm just taking the generous points and hoping for the best. Game number two, we're going to take the Buffalo Bills plus 6.5. I know the game was at New England, and New England lost his last home game. Kansas City coming there, and I talked on the other video that I saw a different New England team in the second half of that game, and the referees cost them 2 touchdowns. Was some of the most horrendous calls I've seen in my lifetime. But you can see the look on Bill Belichick's face on silent. He wasn't all that concerned because he knows in the long run you're going to get a 50-50 close to equilibrium. You're going to get some good calls like that in your career, and he has. He can actually afford to lose that game. I'm not whitewashing what happened. I saw a different New England team. They played with, it was like different team in the second half than what we've seen from the first half and a couple other previous games. I know New England, they'll probably be fired up a little bit this game too. But Buffalo's also been playing a little better. I was impressed with their win over the Steelers. Steelers' defense is really good, and they hung in there. Once that Allen quarterback for the Bills settled down, he was actually pretty accurate. And they know each other, division rivalry. I'm looking for a close game. I'm actually picking the Bills to upset here. And they're going to win the game outright as well as cover the points. Game number 3. First of it, we're taking 3 home dogs for the last 3 picks. I'll be getting away from the favorites. Of my last 7 official picks on my videos, my last 7 favorites have lost. My 3 last favorite scratch games that I would have picked lost. Even though favorites are still pounding the dogs, they're back to pounding the dogs again. You can see over here, 8 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties, and one of the ties was a backdoor cover, and this is going to be a favorites year. But we're going to take the Tennessee Titans. I know they're home. I know they're playing the New Orleans Saints, and the Saints kind of need this win for the number 1 seed. But I think Tennessee's going to show up. I think they match up well. Tennessee's got this brutal running game right now. The Saints can't stop the run. So I'm looking at that. I think Mike Vrabel knows how to coach against a team like the Saints. Whereas Sean Payton, they had a great win last week. They shellacked the Colts, but the Titans are much better than the Colts, and they're different worlds apart. And Tannehill didn't have that great of a game his last game, and that was one of our scratch games. We would have lost that game, like I said, if we had played that game. I'm looking for Tannehill to bounce back some. I'm taking the Titans in the upset. I think they're going to beat the Saints. Saints aren't. You can bet against teams that are already in the playoffs. They already got a spot. They're going to take another day off. They're not going to. They're looking at next week. They're already. They could lose their last few games. They don't care. They're already in. I know they're trying to play the number one seed, but that's not a top factor anymore. It's the healthier team coming in. The Saints are probably going to get a home game, and they already know that. So that's okay. Pick number 4. We're taking New York Jets +3 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers got their bubble busted by Buffalo last week, and we didn't have that game on a contest, but we had the game in a different contest. We were only one of 2 people out of 111 people in that other contest, on the Iron Man Subby contest on the Yahoo Fantasy Sports. Only 2 people that took Buffalo in the points. Everybody else took Pittsburgh. So that should tell you something. When a lot of times it works out in the NFL when one team is so lopsidedly picked over the other. That's usually a good sign if you're a contrarian bettor. So we felt pretty good about the Buffalo pick last week. But this week, we're going to go against Pittsburgh again. They may be gearing up for one last hurrah for next week. But their offense, they're really struggling with this Duck and these rookie quarterbacks not having Big Ben after week 1. I think Pittsburgh's lucky to win 8 games. If Big Ben's been playing, I think the Steelers will be probably the second number 2 seed behind the Ravens. I think that if they had Big Ben this entire year instead of him getting hurt, his elbow getting hurt against the Patriots the first week, we'd be talking about a very different video right now. There's all this talk about Tomlin being coach of the year. I'm not buying it. He inherited that team from Bill Cowher, he inherited his team from Chuck Noll. And Tomlin's got 1 Super Bowl in 12 years. It's true he's never finished below 8-8, but he's had a couple 8-8 years now. Missed the playoffs a few times now. That's something that never happened since 1970 when Chuck Noll took the Steelers where they were at. And then Bill Cowher took over in the late 80s after Chuck Noll retired. I've seen Tomlin make some horrible decisions, and I'm not sure about his personnel choices. That's why they've got strife on the team now. Something that used to never be there before Tomlin came along. So you're a victim of your own poison. And that's a different video for a different time, and people disagree with me on pregame.com, but I've been proven to be right. And the old-time Steeler fans that still have tickets, they agree with me. So I feel vindicated with that. I'll let it drop at that. Last game, they're all against me on this one, which means maybe I'm on to something. We're taking game 5. We're taking the Chicago Bears +6.5 against Kansas City. Kansas City's still fighting for a position. They're already in the playoffs, though. The Bears are not. They got eliminated. But the Bears are playing for pride, and there are a couple teams every year that like to play the spoiler. Which team do you really think can be the spoiler? I think I got the 2 teams. I got the Rams and I got the Bears. Rams can't spoil. The 49ers are already in the playoffs, but they can spoil their seeding position, and they'll have a little moral victory with that. Same thing with the Bears here. The Bears can pull something out and make Kansas City struggle and rumble and get injured, whatever. Not that they're deliberately injuring them, but tax them out and wear them out. It's a moral victory for the Bears. They can wear on their chest with pride. We kept Kansas City from getting a number 1 or number 2 seed. So, but I'm still picking Kansas City to win the game. I'm looking for the Bears I'm looking for the Bears to cover and have Kansas City take this game into overtime. That's it, folks. Hope you had a good week. It's always great to be American. Sorry about the short video. Got another illness in the family. I had an illness in my immediate family. Had a childhood, elementary school death from someone I knew for over 50 years of my life, and now I have another illness and another problem in my family. We all have family problems. We all have our blessings. Good luck. Take care, and remember, entertainment only. Stay within your means. Always a great day to be an American. And next year, it's going to be for real. So I'm kind of glad I stumbled at some of these weeks here in the second half of the season, because I would hate to be 60 wins and 15 losses and be way in first place in the real contest and missing out on $1.5 million or $1 million, whatever we're going to pay out. It's over $1 million. It's been over $1 million the last 5 years. I'd be really kicking myself in the can, getting as close to 70%. But so next year, these videos, we're going to have it's going to be the real deal. It is going to be the real thing. So we're going to make a stab at it next year, and stick around, folks. Subscribe, because you will be getting great insights, and you got one of the most experienced and a dangerous handicapper when he gets on a roll. The last time I was witnessing with them was five years ago. I was 57 years old. I think the next closest guy was 71, and that was Len Banker. He was actually the second youngest guy. And we had one guy that was in his 90s. And these guys, they made a living betting NFL football. They very rarely dabbled in other sports. They might put a high flyer on a World Series or a soccer game or something like that. And but they told me they never, it was just for fun because they knew they couldn't make a living at it, including the baseball pitching lines and run lines, which have become very generous but still hard to beat with the juice is so high. They know every angle. They know how to bet two-team teasers. They know and keep the juice down. And they taught me. They also taught me that anytime you keep going over 100 minus buck 20 juice on any teaser or parlay or whatever, you're going to lose money. Okay, you in the long run you cannot beat that 120 juice. And there's occasional time they'll do the 130 with a 6.5 point teaser, but that's because of getting a half point off a certain key number. They know when to go through the number. They know everything, and they hit 80% of their teasers because that's what you have to do, just to practically break even. And their teaser money paid for their little expenses for the buffets and this and that. Because you got to remember, when you start beating the sports books and you get on the radar, you don't get any more comps. Comps stopped. Thank you. Have a great day. See you next week. Thank you.